Capricorn. When you call your Capricorn boyfriend to remind him of the dinner date that you mentioned you would like to go on, and his voicemail answers, you know that it's unlikely your Friday or Saturday night plans are going to happen. Let's keep it real, Capricorn. You're about the status of your job. Your sign is known for its work ethic, so on the romantic scale, Cap, you'd be ranked quite low in my opinion, unless you count the hearts that we can see in your eyes when the overtime schedule has your name on it. If Cap does call you from his job, it's only to tell you that he'll be late on the way home. When you do find time away with Capricorn, it will likely be an office dinner party where others will be singing their praises. Up next is Aquarius. If you're looking for romance, you might want to skip Aquarius, because while they do have a romantic side, they reserve that romance for that one special person, not just everyone they date. So if you are the chosen one, then you'll likely see the sky is the limit for this air sign with their grand gestures, and their unique dates are also their specialty. You will be cave splunking, wine tasting, on a llama farm, all of your favorite things. Going big on the romantic gesture is a favorite hobby of theirs. Our Aquarius friends are all or nothing. They either just meet you for a sandwich, or when they love you, they shower you with things of grand gestures and set themselves apart from others that you've dated. So expect your name in skywriting, portraits painted of you, or anything as long as it's over the top with an Aquarius. Oh, Pisces, you're up next. Sweet Pisces. You've made my personal top 3 list for the most romantic signs solely for your efforts. It is likely your Pisces significant other has been planning that special romantic date for days now. They've been fantasizing about how you will react when you see their grand plans. If there's a gift involved, it will be wrapped to perfection in your favorite colored wrapping paper, likely with a bow. If dinner is involved, there will be music in the background and a meal cooked to perfection or plated from your favorite takeout spot. If this were the 80s, I would say they would make you a mixtape with all your favorite songs on it. I caution you, though, don't criticize your Pisces partner, or you may scare them away from their next romantic gesture. Thoughtfulness and overboard are the key words for your Pisces significant other. They're likely to be one of the most emotional and sensitive zodiac signs, so be kind and don't bring them to tears. Romance and Aries, I wouldn't necessarily label it that, but call it what you might. It will be big, loud, and everyone will know it happened Aries style. Aries seem to like to flaunt what they have, what they do. So if you get to ride in their classic sports car, they will likely tell you how much they paid for it and how many times they had it detailed during their lifetime. Once you arrive to your destination, perhaps a restaurant that's difficult to obtain a table at, they'll probably let you know they have a connection. Don't worry, I'll get you in even if it's fully booked, the Aries will say. Once they get you into that fully booked restaurant, they'll have also ordered your meal for you ahead of time, because after all, what Aries says goes. You will likely overhear them on the phone later on telling their friends that they did all of this for you. Don't worry, they'll also remind you for years to come about your big night. So you will get your dinner, you will get your romance, and likely a ride in a fancy sports car or a cool vacation. But probably romance is not the motivator. It's that go big or go home style of Aries. Their showy nature of this sign will make it an enjoyable day for them as well. Remember, Aries is the adrenaline-driven sign that loves the chase of romance. Okay, next up is Taurus. Down-to-earth Taurus will plan your romantic getaway, likely in the wilderness, the outdoors, or at a sporting event. They're big on nature, so don't plan on a 5-star dining with a fancy hotel. Instead, bring comfortable shoes and mosquito repellent for your campfire or hike in the woods. Taurus is not the first sign I'd think of when romance comes to mind. My first thought for Taurus would be stubborn. So don't think that you'll convince him that that outdoor trip is a bad idea. They will likely go it alone or find someone else to share the day with. So if nature's not your thing, you better skip Taurus. I must also point out that just because they're taking you into the woods doesn't mean it'll be a trip or a getaway. It might very well be in their own backyard with a television stretched out the window, because this homebody sign is not enthusiastic about getting off the couch unless it's for a burger. And now comes Gemini. Date night with Gemini will be a mystery because it's difficult to tell which personality you might get for the evening. If you've been with your Gemini for a while, you realize by now that they have somewhat of a dual personality, so to speak. They're often back and forth on several issues. For example, are we staying in? Are we going out? Have they taken up cooking lessons? Well, yes, but that was last week. This week they're learning to, well, who really knows with Gemini. However, Gemini does have a knack for communication, so it will likely be a lively evening of talking about various topics. However, typically the Gemini will initiate a topic and then question you about your feelings on the subject. They're less likely to open up as they are very curious and inquisitive and want to know how you perceive an idea. This doesn't mean that they'll agree with you or they'll like your answer. So anything goes on romantic date night with Gemini because this sign bores very easily. They're impulsive and they lack consistency. So your guess is as good as mine. It's difficult to predict from one date to another what your evening might be like. So don't spend too much time planning what you'll wear for your big romantic date because they may just call at the last minute and cancel, offering an excuse that something else more pressing has came up. Okay, next up is Cancer. It's likely that Cancer believes in their own mind they might be quite the romantic sign. However, their idea of romance might be misconstrued as overprotectiveness. They're big on support and assistance and compassion and hovering, yet really aren't doing much in the long run. In all likelihood, they'll talk about and consider what they could be doing. In reality, they're kind of low-key, and dare I say, sorry Cancer, a bit on the boring side? So the other Cancerian trait, which might shine through for them, is decision-making. Their plans may get canceled altogether, as they're only second to Gemini, in my opinion, for their fickle ways. So if you do decide to leave the house on your romantic evening with a Cancer, think low-key, maybe sitting by a poolside or watching a movie in a theater for your evening. Next up is Leo. Oh, lovely Leo. It's likely that you believe you are the most romantic sign of the zodiac, but that's only because in your mind, you're the best at everything. Granted, you will make dinner, you will spare no expense on the food, spend hours on the preparation and the grand gestures, but all during that dinner date, Leo will be happy to share every step of his accomplishments with his date. How it was all necessary to travel to 3 different stores to find that perfect cut of meat for you, or how the Leo found an ancient method of tenderizing meat so that its flavor is even more delicious. You will never forget your date with a Leo because they will make sure to remind you of all the things they have ever done for you over the years. Okay, up next, Virgo. If you're dating a Virgo, you know they're the best at planning any event. They will have the details down to a T. I would rank Virgo in the top 3 most romantic signs simply because they will pay the utmost attention to detail and go beyond the limits of the human body to work making this day special for you. They will have the perfect wine to complement your meal because they've likely researched the pairing for several weeks prior to the purchase. Your meal will be carefully prepared with a skilled and exceptionally talented hand at the fine details, selecting organic and healthy meal choices with exceptional quality and flavor. No other date will flow more smoothly. Whatever takes place before or after your meal will be both fun and educational. Perhaps a museum, a historical event, or something you can engage in and learn from that you will never forget. Mundane and routine are not for Virgo. Expect exceptional. However, your super planner Virgo might be too tired to enjoy the night after working so hard on your romantic event. So plan on some downtime to give your Virgo a much-needed rest. They have been planning this date for weeks after all. If you don't eat the food, enjoy the event, dress appropriately, ironed to perfection, and compliment the Virgo, then don't bother coming back again. This will be your last date with the Virgo. All right, now we have Libra. Traditional Libra is in love with being in love. They will offer you a romantic fantasy land and promise you the moon in the form of boasting themselves as an old-fashioned, chivalrous 1800s gentleman, when in reality they are known for their manipulative behavior and lack of follow-through with any romantic gesture. They are secretly self-centered and will promise anything in order to gain your favor. So take off those rose-colored glasses and see your Libra for who they really are. They will promise you the best of times and fail to follow through on most events. Sorry, Libra. Up next, we have Scorpio. Although you will never know when or where, your Scorpio partner will be watching you from afar. This is why Scorpio makes the top 3 list for me, in my opinion, on romantic signs. only because they have it all down. They know where you go, they know when you went, and they know who was there. This makes them a grand date planner. They will know your favorite songs, your favorite foods, if you have any allergies to anything, and your previous romantic partners. They will know how many times a month you hit the gym. If a Scorpio plans a date for you, it will be unique and never at the same spot you visited with one of your exes. They are the most conscientious sign of the zodiac and will plan a spectacular event, but know that they will have been watching you. Remember to appreciate what the Scorpio has done for you, because that scorpion stinger will come out and find you years later down the road when you both have moved on and live hundreds of miles apart. They will know who you are, where you are, what you're doing, stores you frequent, and they will get revenge upon you if you did not treat them well when you were in this romantic union. Time for Sag. Sagittarius likes to mix it up. People think this is because they're adventurous, but it's actually because they're indecisive. So you'll probably end up at a miniature golf course, then a movie, then dinner, then dancing, and probably drinks all in one night, just to cover the bases to make sure you're having a good time. So if you're looking for a home-cooked meal, keep searching, because Sag will definitely take you out to dinner. They've tried to cook at home, but it's likely burnt in the pan, and the house is probably a mess and still smells like the burnt cooked food. So you'll be going out for the evening if you're dating a Sag. They will expect you to have fun, so even if you don't, you better pretend to, because Sag has a mean side. They are, after all, a fire sign of the zodiac, and they will be offended if you're not thrilled with their romantic gestures. If they're blunt and to the point when engaging in conversation with you, don't be offended, because Sages are known for their outspoken nature. But Sages love to laugh and make you laugh, so you should have a good night. Well, that just about wraps it up for my quick opinion on romance through the zodiac signs. I hope you got a laugh. I hope you related to some of it. And post in the comments, give us a like or subscribe so you can see more great videos in the future. And if you would like an astrology reading, a personal reading for yourself, a compatibility reading, or a natal birth chart, contact in the information down below. Thanks so much.